Think of J.D. Vance. What must J.D. Vance have been thinking as he saw you fawn over Zohran Mamdani like that? Just mascara running all down his face, looking like right in the middle of one of those after school specials when it all falls apart. Just horrible. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and I'm trouble. Trump, what's this I hear about you running around with Mamdani on the Lower East Side? Huh? No, because don't nothing good happen on the Lower East Side that time of night. What's going on?
Oh my God, tell me why Donald Trump was looking at Zohran Mamdani like he was his long-lost soulmate. What? I swear, Trump has never even looked at his own children with the level of admiration he was looking at Zohran Mamdani. Ivanka is out there punching the air someplace. Then Trump kept on giving him these like little pats on the hand, on arm, all over the place. Kept on patting him. He was like the I'm not flirting, but the also I'm not flirting type of pat. You know what I mean? One more pat and somebody from HR was gonna pop out and be like, sir, this counts as affection. You're almost in a situationship here. Okay.
Yeah, you pushed Marjorie over the edge.
A few moments later.
I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You sure you don't want to resign January 6th? Yeah, it gotta be on the kind of be on the nose. You go to the 6th. Yeah, I'm not. I don't pretend to know exactly what's going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene's resignation, but I sure as know we're not getting the full story. None of this makes sense. You think she's gonna crash out? You mean again?
He seems to attract lots of conspiracy theorists.
Well, let me tell you, you're a conspiracy theorist, and the left and the media spreads more conspiracy theories. We like the truth. We like supporting our Constitution, our freedoms, and America first. So,
what about Jewish space lasers? Tell us about Jewish space lasers.
No, why don't you go talk about Jewish space lasers? And really, why don't you fuck off? How about that?
Thanks. Thank you very much.
How many crash outs we on with Marjorie Taylor Greene? I don't know. Her mentions might be blowing up. Your people wasn't feeling this.
But wait, there's more.
So Donald Trump replacing Putin with Zohran Mamdani as his new man crush helps one person. There's one person celebrating today, and that is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because while we're sitting here trying to figure out, should we make her a martyr? Should we bring her to our side? Which is apparently what some congressional Democrats are trying to figure out. What they don't understand is the dynamics going on right now. Maga is fracturing into two groups, the other group being America First. So instead of one cult, we're going to have two cults. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is only in this for herself. She wants to be the head of America First. And today, all Trump supporters tuned into the White House. The Fox News correspondents tuned in to watch Donald Trump massacre and humiliate Zohran the way that he did Zelensky. And the absolute opposite happened. I mean, I can't even put it into words. I can't even. Trump literally was kissing Zohran's ass the way he does Putin and Netanyahu and the North Korean leader. I don't know how else to explain it. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is super happy because today, probably, I'm going to estimate at least 500,000 people are turning on Trump. They're giving up on him today because he embraced a socialist.
You have just ceded America First MAGA to a woman that won't even be subject to your congressional authority. I know it's supposed to be co-equal branches of government, but y'all know how MAGA do. Got them out here posting memes. Find you somebody who looks at you like Donald Trump looks at Zohran Mamdani. That's right. Somebody else said that was the closest Mamdani has been to pork. That was just a sampling of it. It was way more than that.
Waters is in the house, y'all. Bringing truth like a true social rap shaker. What? Weathered all the storms, yeah. He's the bridge over troubled waters, yeah, yeah. The report. Hey, hey, hey. Where the real never ends. Woo. The report. Where the real never ends.
No, that's what you get. That's what, because you wasn't thinking about MAGA. You wasn't thinking about America First MAGA. You wasn't thinking about all the stuff that you had said about Zohran Mamdani. I mean, we got files from everybody from Brooke Rollins to your son looking crazy.
I am embarrassed for Chuck Schumer. He is going out of his way to please the likes of Zohran Mamdani, a man who is polarizing America with his socialist rhetoric and anti-American principles. The very essence of government responsibility is to the citizens who live and work here to protect their interests first, unless you are a Democrat in the United States Senate. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are doing all this because they fear the socialists and the radicals to their left. Ironically, in leaving American families hungry and American children without food, they are giving a preview of what those socialists will do to every one of us if they ever take power.
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I think I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job. You know, he may have different views, but in many ways, you know, we were discussing when Bernie Sanders was out of the race, I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had no idea.
What you're really seeing here is the end of the Democrats as a responsible party of government, a party that ends governance, a party that ignores Americans, a party that cannot master the most basic principles and processes of government, is a party that cannot be trusted with the reins of power. It isn't oriented toward anything but the end of the system in which it exists.
No, I feel very comfortable. I would feel very, very comfortable being in New York, and I think much more so after the meeting. Yes, please.
SNAP is arguably just the beginning. The logical and inevitable end to where this all goes is the Democrats and the whole superstructure of constitutional government.
There was this image that people had of who it is that is on welfare, right? Like the person that is getting EBT and SNAP benefits. The image was some lazy, typically black woman, right? That was the image that they wanted to portray. But then people found out that we have 42 million people that rely on SNAP benefits in this country, and that's only $6 a day to eat, $2 a meal, which I'm not really sure what all you get for that. But they wanted to make people believe who weren't on SNAP benefits that these people are the real drain on our system, when you're worried about somebody getting $6 a day to eat, and the real welfare queen is like Elon Musk, who gets $8 million a day from the federal government.
And there's no place in the world that could compete against New York City, right? No one could compete against New York City, and yet, you know, then you have a socialist, you have a, communist, however you want to label him, who wants to nationalize grocery stores and wants to arrest Netanyahu, hates the Jewish people, hates the Indian population.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
And then moreover, think of the children. Think of Fox News.
Donald Trump is blessed with the best enemies. The minute Nancy Pelosi leaves San Francisco, Kami Mandami comes into New York City. Muslim, immigrant, short, beard. He wants to legalize prostitution, injection sites, government-run grocery stores. I cannot wait to send Johnny there. What is a government-run grocery store? Nobody even knows. The guy can't even bench press 135 pounds. He's going to be mayor of New York City. What is he going to throw out the first pitch at a Yankee game? Let's see it. What is he going to go to a funeral when one of these NYPD officers passes away? I doubt it. Could you see him standing next to Donald Trump on 9/11? Absolutely not. This guy's in way over his head.
You're gonna cry in the car.
Think of J.D. Vance. What must J.D. Vance have been thinking as he saw you fawn over Zohran Mamdani like that? Just mascara running all down his face, looking like right in the middle of one of those after school specials when it all falls apart. Just horrible. I mean, really, you couldn't have glazed him anymore. Everything from his campaign.
One thing in common, we want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat him easily. And I congratulated him.
Just out here lying, talking about he ran against some very smart people. You know Curtis Lewa was in that race.
You're glazing me. Don't be glazing me. Because if you're under 30, Cuomo's always flirty. I got arrested 81 times. I know what it's like to be the target of over-excessive policing or targeting you. You have to have a balance. The other thing, I'll see police officers. I don't know if they're adding to their Facebook what they had that morning for breakfast or sexting or texting, but it sure has nothing to do with policing. You're glazing me. Don't be glazing me.
You know good and well Curtis Lewa was in that race. He ran against some very smart people. And now all of a sudden, when he was going to ruin the city, y'all agree a lot more than you thought.
Go ahead, please.
You're a billionaire. You've got a different address nowadays than you used to. You used to call New York City home. Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would. Especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I think I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job.
What do you mean by that?
Let's talk about my people. You know, the kind that end up in all kinds of internet rabbit holes, and next thing you know, you signed up for a free foot cream. You know, for my wife, of course. Now your inbox is flooded with spam. These phishing emails, texts, and calls are so convincing because scammers use your personal information. And employers, landlords, and yes, even random strangers can access your personal details without your consent. This is because companies gather your data, aggregate it, and trade it. It's actually really big business. But these companies have a scary amount of information about all of us, and I don't want that out there, and I don't think you should either. It could take months or even years repairing the damage to your finances and your reputation. So what do? There is a solution with today's sponsor, Incogni. You can just sit back, relax, and let them take care of it for you. It's like having your own data agent who handles all the dirty work, and it gets to work immediately, and the handy dashboard will show you all the work it's doing. 327 sent, 315 completed. That's a higher percentage than Patrick Mahomes. And with Incogni's custom removal feature available on the Unlimited and Family Unlimited plans, if you find your information on any website out there, you can just put it into Incogni and their custom removal agents will get the information erased from the internet. If you sign up with my link, incogni.com/Reese Waters, or click the link at the top of the description, you can get an amazing offer of 60% off, so definitely take advantage of that. Again, cheapness over everything. Speaking of which, Did I tell you it'll let you know how much time you saved? That's hours more life I get back to spend probably in internet rabbit holes. So to get 60% off, go to the link in the description. That's incogni.com/Reese Waters. Take back your privacy and your peace of mind. And thanks to Incogni for sponsoring this video.
You know, he may have different views, but in many ways, we were discussing when Bernie Sanders was out of the race, I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had no idea because he was strong on not getting ripped off in trade and lots of the things that I've practiced and been very successful on. Tariffs, a lot of things. Bernie Sanders and I agreed on much more than people thought. And when he was put out of the race, I think quite unfairly, if you want to know the truth, many of the Bernie Sanders voters voted for me. And I felt very comfortable, frankly, in seeing that and saying that. And, it just turned out to be a statistical truth. But, no, I feel very comfortable. I would feel very, very comfortable being in New York, and I think much more so after the meeting.
Although I do kind of feel the one comment that you gave when they asked, would you feel comfortable in a Mamdani? You just happy to be back in the city.
Are confused about Trump's meeting with Mamdani today. Why was Trump acting like that? Because at the end of the day, Trump is a New Yorker and he's proud. This kid Mamdani came out of nowhere. He went to a public school in New York City. Trump is from Queens. Like, if you're from Queens, your whole identity is making it big. All we want to do is try to make it big. Mamdani did that. None of Trump's kids are that impressive. Trump was living his best life because New York over everybody. That's the real message of today. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. New York is going to support New Yorkers. Keep in mind, he's going to backstab Mamdani very quickly. But in front of his face, he had to give that kid props. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to New York. And shout out to kids from Queens making it. I'm here for it.
So the Trump loving Mamdani thing seems so bizarre, so I've been thinking about it a lot. And the number one thing Republicans want to do is destroy the Democratic Party. And what's the biggest threat to the Democratic Party? Socialism. After the race in New York, they realized how fucking powerless they are. No matter how much money they throw at an election, they cannot beat democratic socialism. It's what the people want. Even a lot of conservatives in New York voted for Mamdani. Aligning with Mamdani is the move right now. I bet you Trump's team told him to be nice to him. But also when you look at his expression, he's never that fucking happy. It looked very genuine. So I think there's also the aspect of Trump is so dumb and narcissistic that he's gonna love bomb and fawn over that man, because if there's one thing he could never do, it's be the mayor of New York. And if there's one city that man loves, it's New York. And the one place where he is not loved is New York. He would love to be in Mamdani's shoes. And with his low public approval rating right now, he needs to align himself with that man as hard as he fucking can.
Does that mean I get to come back? You just happy to be back in the city. You not slick. You not slick.
I feel like everyone is missing the actual reasons the Trump-Mamdani meeting went so well. The reality is so obvious. You have to understand that for Mamdani, this was hostile territory. This was basically one of those African safari things where you're driving your open Jeep past a bunch of wild hippos, except in this case, the alpha hippo has a rare case of incurable jaundice. It spread to his medulla oblongata, and he's now prone to increasingly irrational outbursts. Mamdani needed nothing out of this but to not be attacked. The dude is like 55 years younger than Trump. In something like 15 years, he will be half of Trump's age. This was a get in and out situation, because really he needs nothing from Trump but for Trump to leave New York alone. But for Trump, this is his entire world. You have to understand, New York City is Trump's white whale, the one that got away. He calls himself the king of New York. He loves New York. But despite this love, there is one thing New York will never do, and that's love him back. He got the White House, he's got all of his Model X wives, he's got billions in assets, and he's got the admiration of tens of millions of loyal followers. But deep down, he knows there is one thing he could never have. That's the title of mayor of New York City. Yet for Mamdani, this young, elusive, handsome immigrant, it was so easy. And the ensuing waves of anger, jealousy, resentment, envy, and admiration is really a lot to handle for a guy with an inverted emotional IQ. But despite all of that, Mamdani also has something Trump desperately craves: broad public approval. So Trump did what any good narcissist would do. He love-bombed him. He brought him into a golden room and publicly fawned over him with what was really a pretty uncomfortable amount of disingenuous praise. A grossly unhealthy grand display of worship, all for one simple reason. Even in Trump's small, fragile mind, he understands he needs Mamdani more than Mamdani will ever need him.
You not slick. That was about as slick as when you openly let him call you a fascist.
Clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
This your strong man, Maga? Maga, this your strong man right here? This is it. This your strong man right here. Yeah. Just go ahead and say I'm a fascist. And he didn't shy away from that now, did he?
I've got one thing to say about this moment here in the Oval Office.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
So there's a ton of stuff going on there. But one thing I do not want to be missed is that Trump is making the F word acceptable. He's destigmatizing the concept of fascism. And this is in line with the criminalization of anti-fascism. And doing it in front of Mamdani, using Mamdani's own words, absorbs the confrontation. Anti-fascism history professor Mark Bray, now in exile in Spain because of death threats provoked by Turning Point USA actions, says that fascism has a technical definition, but it also has a moral register. That's why it's useful as a shorthand for political derangement. Trump is taking that away, or trying to. And so everyone in this space, including me, has a new rhetorical challenge, which is to make the description of fascist behavior as impactful as the word itself has been in the past.
We can add fascism to the Epstein files, to all the new things that MAGA has had to adopt lately. It is just a brave new world for y'all now, isn't it? I see why y'all be so confused. In the morning, it was Mamdani enters the Oval Office today only to be greeted by Tom Homan, who then personally escorts the communists back to Uganda. And just a few hours later, I thought Mamdani was supposed to be a fascist dictator. What in the heck is going on at the White House? Hey, Todd Starnes, you know we can see your tweets, right? Yeah, we can see you. You press send on all those. You press send on all those. I could tell you a little bit of what's going on right here.
Trump melted down and has continued to melt, and he's done something I've never seen him do before,
Which is?
dick ride.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw. That's what we all saw. And I can't imagine just how devastating it must be to see your daddy behaving that way.
Donald Trump is often called the president of the world. Multiple world leaders have called him that. I don't want to call him that, but that's what world leaders have called him because the office itself is so unbelievably powerful, Piers, and you have military bases all over, and every second there's another world leader calling you for something. And I think there's a reality distortion field in DC that has been very pernicious in our politics in America for the last 50 years, for sure, since the Second World War, where American politicians feel like they have to be the world's police and they feel like they have to be the world's daddy. And that's not why we elected you, damn it. You know, we elected you to be daddy here, to care for your children, which are American.
Well, Benny Johnson, look like Daddy's going to get some milk. Yeah, look like Daddy got himself a whole side family. That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Man, you know, Byron going to take it hard.
It's not just going to be that. I mean, when Americans see deportations or repatriations happen, they're going to be like, thank you. When they see the border closed, they're going to say, this is what I voted for. When they see peace starting to like break out again around the world, they're going to be like, this is the stability that we were asking for. Daddy's back.
Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is going to take it hard. But Trump, you have made a complete idiot of MAGA. I mean, for 10 years, but like especially lately. And this is hysterical. You know what would be really dope is if you just throw some specific people under the bus. Now, I know you got Margie. You know who I never liked? I never liked that Elise Stefanik. Go ahead and dunk on her, would you?
Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Zohran Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to a jihadist right now in the Oval Office?
No, I don't, but she's out there campaigning, and, you know, you say things sometimes in a campaign.
Isn't that sort of
She's a very capable person,
Isn't
but
that a
you really have to ask her about that. But I don't particularly. I think I met with I met with a man who's a very rational person. I met with a man who really wants to see New York be great again, and I can say again, because New York was great.
Okay. You know what, Trump? So I had a little situation with Marjorie for her to just take a wrecking ball to MAGA, you know, from the inside. But obviously, you know, that's not going to work anymore. But, you know, how you moving? You know what I mean? How you moving? You know what I mean? Tyler, I'm gonna have to, we're going to have to talk to Mamdani and, you know, clear everything. But, you know what I mean? They are a mess. It's beautiful. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. It's Thanksgiving time, so you know what that means.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, lamb,
tomatoes, turkeys. It's going to be a little bit less this year, probably. You know, Trump 47. So it's going to be a diet Thanksgiving. But it also means I'll be doing my Thanksgiving video showcasing all the things that we have to be grateful for, and I would love your participation. So check out the community tab and give me your suggestions. It could be anything you're thankful for. I'm thankful they finally will release the Epstein files. I'm thankful Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend got to sleep with one eye open. I'm thankful that no matter how much negative feedback she gets, Laura Trump just keeps singing.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
And of course, I'm thankful to all of you. So many of you guys have hit me up at admin@reesewaters.com, including my man TP all the way from Germany. Shout out to all my German Americans out there. Let's see, we got, Bruce Willis was born in West Germany. Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Sandra Bullock, whose mother was a German opera singer, and Michael Fassbender. We won't talk about where my mind goes with Michael Fassbender. Ain't no Dominique Wilkins? They're not going to talk about Neek, the human highlight film? Oh, he was born in Paris. He should get credit for that. Some of that Jerry curl dripped in Germany. I know it did. TP writes, Miss Ray, good morning. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I most certainly did. Bama won, and after nearly a year, I finally got some merch. I got a beanie hat, a Who Raised Y'all coffee mug, and an I'm Troubled t-shirt. I'm providing a photo of all the items, and the beanie really keeps your head warm. I would also say the Who Raised Y'all mug also keeps your head warm, because I only break it out when I'm hot. You know, when I'm mad at people, I'm hot, I showcase it and make sure that it's facing whose parenting I'm questioning. But shout out to TP for submitting those and for being such an integral part of this community. Be on the lookout for our Black Friday sale and make sure you order by December 10th in order to get your items by Christmas. Now, a lot of you guys have also talked about the fact that the items aren't on the YouTube page anymore. And believe me, a book will be written all about what we've had to deal with on the back end trying to get those things showcased. But they're still available over at thepeoplesgetup.com. Again, that is thepeoplesgetup.com, as well as reesewaters.com. And while you're at it, be sure to send me your merch pics to admin@reesewaters.com. And while you're at it, I could use a good plug for vests. Now in my fourth decade, I feel the sudden need for vests. I could also get a good Stetson hat and probably this time next year, a cane. That's how I see Thanksgiving 2026. Oh, I'm gonna be strutting come election next year.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage.